We don't often circle back to past camping spots, but every now and then a place is just so spectacular that it's impossible to pass by and not stop. And Stanley Lake is one of those places. This visit, while still amazing, didn't go quite as planned. Our hearts sank when we saw the aftermath of last year's fire, and after accidentally dropping not one, but 2 cameras into the lake, our spirits took a bit of a hit.
Today we are in Idaho at Stanley Lake, 8 miles outside of the small town of Stanley. And this is the National Forest with a 16-day stay limit. So we had an unusual event happen here. Carrie had a paddleboarding accident. Thankfully, she did have her life jacket on. She's not a super strong swimmer. She'll tell you more about that later. But we have already been here 5 days, which is usually the amount of time it takes us to complete a video. So all the footage that we have has been lost. We are flexible enough to where we do have time to stay here a little bit longer and make a video of this area, because this is one of our favorite places in Idaho, and we really wanted to showcase this. And you can tell by some of the drone footage that there has been a huge fire here, and that has changed since the last time. Last time there was no evidence of fire, and it's changed forever, or at least a long, long time. But we still love it here. You can tell we've been here for a while already. We've got our clam tent set up. Gabe and Caroline have their tables and chairs and their barbecuer out. Darren has his electric bike. We've got, I mean, this is pretty darn obvious. I've already cleaned up the fire, rebuilt it, dug it out, and cleaned up trash. So there was a lot of trash here, and we finally got it looking good, and that did take several days. There is currently a fire ban in effect, so we will not be doing a fire here at the dispersed camping area. They are allowing fires in campgrounds. We may move to the nearby campground just so we can get a fire and sit right next to the lake. But we've got lots of things to show you here. We did lose some really great footage, but we can get more.
It's story time. I am here with Brutal. We're on the banks of this is Stanley Creek behind me. And this way is Stanley Lake. It is so incredibly beautiful. I absolutely love it here. I got up early Friday morning. I got up at the sunrise, got the paddleboard out, and my intention was to paddle all the way around the lake. It was 36 degrees, so it was quite cold. The air temperature was colder than the water, so you get that like steam coming off the water. They call that smoke on the water. So I was paddling through that. It was awesome. I paddled by some Canadian geese, watched them for a while, paddled all the way down the shore. Fish were jumping in front of me. It was just the most delightful morning. Super meditation-ish morning. Just calm on the water. Nobody else out. I made it all the way to the other end of the lake, and there were some ducks there that I don't rarely see. And so I was watching them for a while, seeing how close I could get to them without disturbing them. And they went into this, I call it the dead tree forest. The stumps are underwater, but the trees are still standing out of the water. And they went in there, and of course I followed them into the dead tree forest. I went under some low-hanging branches, found myself a nice little nook, and I watched these ducks for like 45 minutes. They were jumping in the water off a log, bathing, jumping back out. It was just the most perfect morning. So when it was time to leave, I decided, I got to get myself out of here, and I had to go back underneath those low-hanging branches. When I say low-hanging branches, they're like logs across the water, maybe 2.5 feet above the water. And what I didn't realize at the time is there's a creek coming in on that side, and there was current there that you couldn't see. So when I went under the branches, I got stuck because I was sitting in a chair, I couldn't bend back far enough that the current kept moving the paddleboard, and I was stuck. So it flipped the paddleboard, which was quite surprising and shocking because, again, it was 36 degrees that morning. And to my surprise, I am now in fresh water coming out of the mountains that is snow melt. Thankfully, I was wearing my life jacket, and that's the one thing that if you take anything from the story, always, always, always wear your life jacket. Because things look calm and normal and you think nothing's going to happen, and in the instant, anything can happen. So I managed to get the paddleboard flipped back over, and there's no way I'm going to get back on the paddleboard out of the water. So I knew I needed to swim it to shore. But when I flipped the paddleboard, I lost my iPhone, and I lost our GoPro that we film everything on. Which means I lost all of the footage of this spot that we've camped. Everything we filmed and we were almost done is gone. Our only iPhone, pretty much our main way of communication. We do a lot of business on the iPhone. I do a ton of filming on the iPhone. Lost that. It was a new iPhone, only a few months old. So that was, let's say some cuss words were said. How about that? So once I realized those are gone, I'm not going to be able to get those. My next thing I need to do is I need to get myself to shore. And so I got the paddleboard in tow. I'm trying to swim to shore, and I'm swimming in current. So once I finally realize this, I regroup, I swim out into the lake about 20 feet past the current, and then swim to the shore with the paddleboard in tow. At the shoreline, I can get back on the paddleboard, and then I do the paddle of shame all the way across the lake with the wind at my face, sopping wet, 40 degrees. Probably took me about 30 minutes to get back. You know when your kids are in trouble and you don't say anything to like dad, and they have to think about how bad is dad gonna be, how much trouble am I in? Well, that's the paddle of shame across the lake. I don't think Dave's definitely gonna be disappointed. I don't think he's gonna yell at me, but I still have to paddle all the way across this lake, get to the shore, do the walk of shame to the van, wake Dave up because I was out at sunrise, and tell him that I flipped the paddleboard and lost the iPhone and the GoPro. Of course, he did not yell at me. He is the best when it comes to things like that. Of course, he was upset. And he immediately said, okay, well, do you know where it is? Can I dive to it? Can I go see if I can retrieve them? Dave's an excellent swimmer. I am not a good swimmer. So we borrow Gabe and Caroline's Jeep, and we head back over to the spot. Dave's gonna dive, see if he can find him.
Water's cold.
So we are now filming this on the backup camera, the Insta360.
Yeah, so we're almost done with the video as far as shooting the footage here, and we had some really great footage.
We had some epic footage.
We're hoping we find that GoPro just because of the SD card that's
Yes.
in it.
Yes, agreed. And my phone is supposed to be waterproof.
For how long is the question?
Yeah.
Let's see.
So you want to go to the boat or park over there?
Here?
Yeah, park in the day use area. Yeah, that's coming out of the mountains. Okay, you see this log right here? This one that's laying across that one? See the log behind it?
Yeah.
Right on the other side of that.
The group of logs, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That are above the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on the other side of that. I'm not excited about this. It's snow water coming into this, and it's icy cold, and I have to swim around a bunch of trees and branches. It starts over my head right here. And then I have to swim into that mix of trees that are dead and dive down. It's not the best case scenario.
Dave said, why does it have to be right here with the ice cold mountain water coming in the mix of branches? Because that's where I was, stalking birds where I probably shouldn't have been. Why couldn't it have been over here? No, I had to make it hard.
Oh, it's cold.
Getting warmer?
No, it's freezing cold.
Okay, that's it. That's the right area.
We're gonna need the mask. Can't see anything. I think it's a loss, Carrie.
Yeah. Cold right there?
I can't get it. The water's extremely cold, and it's at least 10 feet deep, and I looked in the water and it's got to be under the weeds because you can't see anything on the top of the weeds. Could be deeper than 10. I'd have to search through the weeds, and I just don't have the amount of time to do that without a wetsuit, without getting hypothermia for sure. Ooh. Bummer.
So my adrenaline must have really been kicked in because I had to swim up this current to get to shore.
Yeah, you are full adrenaline. Because if you didn't notice how cold that water was, yeah, your adrenaline was pumping. That water's ice.
Long story short, he can't get him. There's no way. It could be 10 feet, it could be 15 feet, it could be 20 feet deep, but it's right in the current of that snow water. It's not happening. So I've been in a slump. Thankfully, we had insurance on the phone. I've got a claim started on that. Thankfully, we have backup cameras. And the camera that I lost was an older camera. We have a brand new one that we haven't even used yet. I'm filming on the Insta360. And we have a DJI. So we're good. YouTube-wise, we're good. In the grand scheme of things, this is not really a big deal. We lost a few items. I'm okay. It could have been a lot worse. In the YouTube world, we lost some epic footage. We can redo it. I lost some B-roll from the last couple of videos. That footage is gone forever. But I'm gonna get the paddleboard back out. We're gonna get back on the horse, but not flip it this time. Hi.
Hello.
I was just telling them my awesome story about flipping the paddleboard.
Okay. Well, I droned exactly where you flipped it, so.
Okay.
I didn't get close to the water because I was like, well, that's the last thing I want to do is crash the drone right where you lost everything else. So I was like, I played it safe.
Good job. Good job. Yeah, that would have just been insult to injury, huh?
Yep.
Losing the drone. Be really good if you lay down, buddy. Oh yeah, it's really shallow. Just enough water for us to paddle through. Quite a bit of current there. Rudolph, sit down. Sit down. Oh, we made it. Rudolph, sit. Sit. Good boy. Yeah, we came from that way, but why don't you look where we're going? You just want to be on camera? You want to show your best side? I am out paddleboarding again. I do have my life jacket on. I have the waterproof camera, and I have it tethered to me. Since Ruda wants to look the opposite way, I put him in the back, and that way you can see the view of where we're going. It's getting very shallow. All right, let's see if we can go through this way. Oh, there went a fish. Rudolph, sit down. Rudolph, sit. We made it. Rudolph's back up front. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's perfect. Whole school of baby fish. Keep going, bud. Gives you an idea just how shallow it is. Keep going. Rudolph heard Gabe, Caroline, and Charlie, so he went running. Meanwhile, I'm walking the paddleboard up the creek.
You didn't get him, Charlie. You didn't get Rudel. There, now he wants it. I wanted to take a minute and just kind of show you around the dispersed camping area, because a lot of times when we camp somewhere, we're the only ones camping, and you can tell just by us driving through that there's nobody around. And then maybe you come here and there's people everywhere. So that's the way this is right now. We came in on Tuesday and we had the pick of our campsites. So we picked our favorite one. But if you come on the weekend in the prime camping season, there's a good chance that every campsite is going to be full. And that's exactly where it is right now. And we would expect that. We usually try to hit the busy places on the shoulder seasons, the spring or the fall, where they're not busy. Sometimes we even hit them in the winter. So this one is currently full right now, but this is the last major camping weekend of the season, because most kids are about ready to go back into school. So we usually see a big fall off. Oh, there's fresh deer tracks right here. If you can see them or not. It's awesome. Yeah, this is the last weekend basically to go camping before school starts. So we did expect this to be full. All right, so this is what I learned in a nutshell, just to save everybody some time. But if you take the road to the right, that's where we are, where there's the trail to the lake. There is 13 campsites, and then there's about 4 more walk-into tent sites that you can use that go right to the lake, and you can camp on the edge. Now, it's a little bit tighter in there to the right, so I don't recommend anything over about 30 feet unless you have mad backing up skills with the trailer, and then you might walk it first and check out what you have. I'll let this car go by. So very convenient to the lake. We love this spot. Usually the road on the right that we are camping on fills up first. Now, if you go to this road down the left, it's a little rougher, so you need at least 5 inches of clearance. I recommend good tires, all-terrain tires with thick sidewalls, and to go slow. But there is at least 12 more sites, and half of those sites, I'm going to say any size vehicle can camp in them. They're a lot bigger down there, which gives a lot more options. Now there is some couple of spots where you can camp right on the creek that comes out of Stanley Lake, but it's not nearly as convenient to the lake. But if you have a motorcycle or mountain bike or side-by-side or whatnot, you can just drive a mile up the road and go to the main part of the lake. So it's a great backup plan if the right side is filled up or if you have a bigger vehicle. And if you come on the shoulder season, you're not going to find anybody, because it could easily be 0 degrees or it could be 10 below degrees. Don't camp here in the wintertime. You could get snowed in or freeze to death. But we got a great spot here, real happy about it. It's still pretty warm, so we're kind of looking for shade at different times of the day. So we got things set up to where, like, these have great shade in the morning and then the afternoon. I was checking the fluids, got the hood open to keep the rodents out, although we haven't had a problem. Cleaned the engine compartment up just a little bit. Yeah, it's weird showing you a camp that we've already settled into, but I guess that gives you a different look at it than when it looks like when we first get here. And I usually do this is where we're boondocking segment. Yeah. And got a nice little area here that's all ours. I set up this bag of trash just community trash, so if we found little tiny pieces on the ground, because we already picked up the big stuff, that we could just add them to the trash can. And that's been up for the whole time. And it's amazing how even the little stuff adds up. Rudel found himself a little patch of shade. Yeah. How you doing, boy? How you doing, Rudel Doodle? Nice and cool right here. So I did say every camp spot was full, but I did find this little one here, right off the main trail going to the lake. So yep, there is one left. It will probably be taken tonight. This is a Saturday night. And you could probably get a 30-foot, I'm looking now how tall the trees are, a 30-foot Class C in here. It's a fairly small spot. Or you could park right along here too. If you didn't want to back in, you can back into the rocks. Or you can camp alongside and you're still off the road.
Hi. So when we got here, we noticed this poor little tree is down. I don't know why. Maybe a car bumped into it and just, or a Bigfoot, because Bigfoot likes to do, they like to do that. So we've decided we're going to plant a tree. Replant a tree.
So I noticed that some of the roots are still connected, so I think maybe we have a chance. I'm no expert. But
down here, it's like completely
so
still connected.
If you guys can figure out a way to
tip it, we're not going to touch those. We're just going to tip it back in.
Yeah.
I already wet it with a pitcher of water. So
okay.
It's a little bit wet.
So we just got to support it, right? And then
Tip it up. Dig it out a little bit so it can sit down in there without breaking these roots.
Driving here, there's been a fire recently, aren't they?
Yeah, most of the trees are, most of the trees are gone, so.
So finding one that is still alive but laying down, I mean, come on. It's a young little tree. Maybe in a few years when we come back to Boondock here, that would be cool, huh?
That's what I was thinking. If we come back like 5 years and this is still alive, it'd be great.
Ah, that would be so awesome.
And it'd be the first thing we check when we get here.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that...
Don't blow too
It'll
hard.
sustain in the wind.
We'll give it a
Good base support.
make sure
Maybe
it's,
the other way around.
yeah, make sure it's leaning.
All right, so there's our tree. If you guys come here and camp at our same spot, the trailhead is right about 25 feet away over here, so it's pretty easy to find.
And it'll be the tree surrounded with rocks.
Yep, so that's the trailhead right by Rudel's head. And then the tree is just right here. The only little tree surrounded by rocks. Hopefully it's still standing. But we'll keep watering it for the next couple days.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Piney.
Tiny, little piney.
Tiny piney.
Tiny piney, that's adorable.
Tiny piney.
Tiny piney, okay.
Tiny piney is this one's name.
So if you come here, let us know if tiny piney is still standing and alive.
And growing big.
Yes.
Tiny
But
piney.
Operation Tree Rescue is complete.
Complete.
If you do find yourself coming here and you camp at either the campground or we did in the free dispersed camping, make sure you come for a walk on the lakeside trail because it's very pleasant. You're on the side of the lake almost the whole time and you get great views of the Sawtooth Mountain Range and the lake. Well, that devastation from the fire is very obvious here. You can't go anywhere without seeing some of it.
one of the best trails I've ever seen around a lake.
Yeah, it's in really good shape, and a couple locations it has picnic tables and lookouts, and
It's really pretty.
and of course you got the Sawtooth Mountain Range in the background and the lake right in front of you.
Lots of beach access. And pine trees. You know I love pine trees.
Yeah, I love pine trees too. And there's lots of places on the beach where people are just leaving their kayaks and paddle boards. So if you see those on the beach, like right there, then their campsite's probably just up the hill. Yeah, this is a real special area. Here's one of the lookout sites. You can see people out there on paddle boards and kayaks enjoying this beautiful day. If you are the kind of person that likes a big beach to lay out on or just hang out and play in the water, this is the lake for you, because if you come to the main parking lot next to the boat ramp, it's just pretty much all sandy for a good 100 yards or further, and it's a popular place to come and swim or hang out just on the sand. My favorite thing about this location is just being on the lake and the mountains, the Sawtooth Mountain Range as a backdrop, and the pine trees. This is a great camping location. This is my favorite spot in Idaho, and we've been to quite a few locations in this state, and I love it here.
Yeah, this is something special. I would say the dark skies are really phenomenal, except for it's been a full moon the whole time we've been here.
Yeah.
So, and we are here during the Perseids meteor shower, and I can't see them.
Just the full moon, yeah. Okay, so where are we? We are 8 miles outside of Stanley Lake, or Stanley, Idaho, rather. And that's the nearest amenities. So it's a super small town of just over 100 people. Last time we were here, it was 63 people.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago. Now there's over 100 people. There's a gas station, a small grocery store.
There's an awesome bakery.
Awesome bakery.
If you like scones, they have the best scones we've had.
Blueberry. Get a blueberry scone. Yeah.
There is lots of adventure, outdoor, library, little touristy type things.
Yeah.
The grocery store, I will say, is quite expensive.
Yeah, this is one of those places that gets a lot of visitors in the summer. So there's a lot of restaurants and, well, a few restaurants and amenities that are open in the summer that are not open in the winter. You come here in the wintertime and a lot of that's going to be closed.
Yeah, and so the nearest big town would be Boise. It's like 2.5 hours. Idaho Falls, which is like 3 hours.
Maybe 3.5 hours.
And Ketchum is an hour and a half. So to get any of those supplies here, it takes a good chunk of time and money. So you're going to pay more for groceries here than you are in other places. So if you plan on coming here and staying like 2 weeks, because if you do come here, you will love it, stock up before you come.
Absolutely. So if you need to get, I already talked about getting gas in Stanley. You can also get water in Stanley at the gas station, behind the gas station, in a little small shack. So they allow you to get...
After you get gas.
After you get gas.
We do like to support the small towns too.
All right, so amenities right here. This is a dispersed camping area in the National Forest with a 10-day stay limit. So I think earlier I might have said 16-day stay limit because it was 5 years ago, but now it's 10 days.
Yeah.
All right.
There's no trash. There's no toilets.
No water.
Are we getting cell reception? No,
cell reception, unless you have Starlink.
Yeah. So that is, and there are lots of dispersed campsites all the way around this lake, well, on this one side of the lake, but there's probably, I don't know, 20, 30 different areas you can disperse camp at.
Yeah, it's not just down this road that we're on. There's another road before you get here, and there's lots of dispersed camping on it too. This one here, there's about a dozen sites down the road we went on, and if you go down the other road and take a left, there's another dozen sites. So there's just lots of free camping here.
What's really nice about where we are is it's a short 1/4 mile hike to the lake.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is phenomenal.
Right.
So let's talk about, if we're going to talk about the lake and phenomenal, let's talk about the campground.
Yeah, the campground's great too. So if you want a couple more amenities like trash and pit toilets, you can have a fire there in the campground in the summer where you can't have it here in the national forest with the fire restrictions. What other amenities there? Well, you're close to the boat ramp and you're closer to the lake itself. So the campground is definitely an option.
What's really nice about this campground is they have almost a mixture of half and half. Half first come, first serve, and half reserved. If you want to reserve a site, I think it's something like 7 through 21, which are really cool sites. They all have like water views and you can walk right down to the water. You have to reserve those. And the rumor is those reserve 6 months out.
Yeah, so plan ahead for that. But you might be able to catch one of the first come, first serve sites. I like really site number 5. So if you get a chance, check site number 5 out.
Now, site number 5 is a double site, so you will have to pay that. Yeah. But if you have friends coming with you, it is a primo spot.
Yeah. One of the few sites where you will get sunlight for your solar panels too.
Okay, so let's talk about the lake itself. It's great for swimming, at least on the side that we're at, because it's much warmer over here.
Yes.
You took the temperature, right?
Yep. So 65.8 degrees here at the side of the lake that we're on. But
the really shallow side.
The inlet side of the lake was
where I lost my phone.
51 degrees. So a lot colder there.
There is very good fishing. We see fishermen out every day. They are reporting that they are catching fish.
Yep.
There are lots of mountain bike trails, lots of hiking trails.
Off-road trails too for side-by-sides and motorcycles. We've seen a few of those guys here. There's a dirt road that goes up past the lake, and I don't know how many miles it goes, but there's lots of places to explore.
Did we ever say how much the campground cost?
No, the campground was $24 a night in 2025.
Half price with senior and access pass.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're in the campground, you are right across from McGowan Peak, and you're looking over the lake, and it's just right there. It is incredible. So if all these dispersed sites are full, you always have a backup there. If that's full, there's like Dave was saying earlier, there's something like 5 million people that come to this area in the summer.
2 million, but
2 million. Yeah. Some crazy amount of people come to this area. There are probably at least, we can think of a dozen campgrounds within a 30-mile radius of this lake.
Yeah, if not more. I mean,
and that doesn't include dispersed camping.
And there's a lot more dispersed camping than there is right here. I mean, it's all over the place. So lots of choices to make. This is just our favorite one.
Yes. We are here in the second week of August. Yeah. I think I've only been bitten by a mosquito twice. Mosquitoes have not been a problem.
Do plan on it being cold. Even in mid-August here, it got down in the 30s. What was it, like 36 degrees?
36 degrees. Yeah. And we were talking to one of the one of the locals, and they said they have seen snow in August, so it is possible.
Yep. And then during the days, it's getting up 70s, 80s, close to 90. It feels hot when it's getting close to 90 up here.
It does feel hot. Yeah. This is absolutely one of my favorite lakes to camp at.
If we could stay at this place in a cabin, we'd probably quit van life right now.
We would just do campground host all the time.
It's an amazing
year round.
It's an amazing place.
Yeah. All right, I think we've blabbered on long enough.
All right, we hope you get a chance to come here and enjoy it for yourself. And if you come to this campsite that we're at right now, if you can find this exact one, see if our little pine tree, Tiny Piney, is doing, and let us know if it's still kicking.
What's Rudolph think about this spot?
Oh, he loves it here.
Yeah. Super dog friendly. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you on our next video. Hop off, Rudolph. Hop off. Hop off. Get off. Hop off. Get down. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, hop off. Get off. Come on. Get down. Get down. Come on. Get down. Get down. Get down. Come on. You can do it. Come on. There you go. Good boy. See, it's not deep.